Shots fired. Start medical. Middle screaming is down. I can't! Good?
And then twice more after he begged not to be shot again.
Okay, well, yeah, it's definitely a calling. It's not for everybody, but...
Wait, I'm sorry, did you say it's a calling to become a copper?
There's going to be controversy, and there's going to be communication, and...
You can be hated. As soon as I see you, I call you a pigtail.
I hear what you're saying.
Oh, but are you listening? Ma'am, this isn't a belief of you believe in Jesus and I believe in Muhammad. So why do you think you should be a cop? You can't fight a man. I could beat the piss out of you. 2 seconds flat. It's not an opinion. It's a fact. Why don't you go and watch some videos about what cops are doing to people? And you agree. And if you don't toe that thin blue line, miss, you're ruined.
In the year 2002, I was no-knock raided by the Chief of Police, Michael Moore, of LAPD with an entire SWAT team, twice in the same month. Since that date, I began studying the history of America and constitutional law. I am an autodidactic constitutional law scholar. Over the past couple years, what I've done is I've been able to devise a system, understanding that the police have created a very rigid set of policies, procedures, and protocols that they use to arrest you. I've also created a very rigid set of policies, procedures, and protocols for you to follow that gives you back the power when you're forced to interact with these jackboot thug pigs. It has become a tyrannical jackboot thug police state, prison state, death state. I will win the governorship and I will change the policies from the top down.
Duluth Police Department.
Hey, how you doing? I'm calling for the watch duty or the chief or the commander or the major or the lieutenant.
Can I ask what this is in regards of?
Sure. My name is ChilleDeCastro. I'm a national known journalist. All my calls are recorded. And I'm calling specifically about Liebfried, who shot through that door 6 times. Why did Liebfried shoot through the door 2 more times after the guy said, "Oh, I'm shot. Please help me"? Why'd that happen? What's going on over there? Has Liebfried been suspended without pay? And he's only being charged with shooting his firearm. What about attempted murder charges? Are you a copper or are you just a dispatcher?
No, I'm a community service officer.
A community service? Oh, so are you trying to become a copper or are you just going to stay at that level?
Okay, well, yeah, it's definitely a calling. It's not for everybody, but...
Wait, I'm sorry. Did you say it's a calling to become a copper?
I do.
So the policy, procedure, and protocol that they teach you is to jump on top of people, lay them on the ground, stick your knees in their back and their neck. And that's something that's a calling for you?
I mean, I do. Don't get me wrong. I love having these conversations.
But you want to hang up. You want to get off the phone. And I'm just...
No, not at all. I don't. Believe me, I don't. And I love being able to agree to disagree with people.
You ever been through the jail system?
Nope, I don't plan on it either.
Right. I'm not a felon, but yet I've been charged with 13 or 14 felonies. I've been to jail 36 times. So why do you think you should be a cop? You have no business being a cop. You can't fight a man. I could beat the piss out of you. 2 seconds flat. You would be no match for me.
I don't think that being a cop means being violent.
Officers unloading more than 24 rounds through the front of the apartment. One deputy reloading her gun and continuing to shoot.
Go down.
Oh, but it does.
And as a female, I believe that being a female in law enforcement, we have a great power of communication and allowing us to resolve issues with communication. Females are great at that, and so we're a great asset to law enforcement. And I think that that's on the up and up. That is my opinion. And that is something that I would love to see continue because I know that it's needed more in this world.
I want to comment on something you said. You said you're joining law enforcement, but you don't go to law enforcement school. You go to peace officer standards and training. You don't get a law enforcement certificate. You get a peace officer certificate. And then after you graduate, you magically become a law enforcer. How come that is?
Well, they do teach a lot of different classes when you do that. So for law enforcement, so you get like a law enforcement degree. And I know that that comes with being, going to skills and being post-certified, right? They teach all kinds of different things, whether it's criminal investigations or a law class or things like that. So you get the backstory, right? So, but for me right now, I'm in a 4-year degree.
Oh,
I'm not
good job.
on track to go get a post certification just yet.
Okay.
And I do believe that getting a 4-year degree is a great way to go because you learn so much.
I mean, look, I don't want to cause a division with you. I want you to understand something. 52% of this country no longer trusts cops, and it's only growing.
I hear what you're saying.
Oh, but are you listening?
I'm listening.
Okay. On all the videos that I
hear
cover.
What you're saying, but like I said before, I would want you and me to be able to agree to disagree.
That torture cuffs are always torture? That they were made for slaves to torture slaves and you're still using the same apparatuses? That's a fact. I taught it. I break it down. So if you're a good person, how could you put someone in torture cuffs, listen to them and say, ow, you're hurting me, and then say, they're not meant to be comfortable, get in the cage?
5 hours later.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah? You just do that? No problem?
Well, no, I wouldn't just do that.
But that's your job, though. You agree to do that policy. And when you take them to the dungeon, they have to be in torture cuffs behind their back. And you would agree to do that to me. I don't even know you. I've taken the time to talk to you. You can watch my channel. I've identified myself. I've told you everything who I am. Why don't you go and watch some videos about what cops are doing to people? And you agree. If you don't toe that thin blue line, miss, you're ruined. You're ruined. Everything you've worked for 4 years, then you pass post, and then you get into an academy, and then you go through training. And if you don't toe that thin blue line, there's 3 commissions that are all on my website, Delete Laws. The Mullen, the Wickersham, and the Knapp Commission. If you read the Mullen from 1994, it teaches you what cops are actually doing. And the motto of police is not protect and serve. It's whatever it takes for you to go home safe at the end of your shift. That means the standard of care is 0. What I've been showing this week are cops getting shot versus people getting shot. When people get shot, they put them in torture cuffs and let them bleed out on the ground.
Listen, I really appreciate you calling, and I love to hear people's inputs and...
But you're dyed in the wool.
You're
not going to change your mind, huh?
And all that. But where I've grown up, where I've come from, my beliefs, they may be different than yours. And from what I've seen, it may be different from what you've seen. And so there's going to be controversy, and there's going to be communication and like I said, disagreements. And so I do appreciate you calling, and like I said, I love hearing what you have to say.
Well, ma'am, this isn't a belief if you believe in Jesus and I believe in Muhammad. These are concrete facts that what cops do to everyday Americans is torture, brutality, and horrible. It's not an opinion. It's a fact. And there are video after video. It's not a few bad apples. It's the policies, procedures, and protocols. I implore you to watch the videos. And you can't say we have agree to disagree, have a difference of opinion. No. What the cops do to people is literally, okay, that cop just shot that guy, shot him 6 times, 4 times real quick, and then twice more after he begged not to be shot again. And the cop wasn't charged with attempted murder. He was charged with firing his firearm. He shot through a door that was closed when a door slammed. He's like that Acorn cop out of Florida. But yet you wouldn't talk about that, and you didn't address it at all. How do you feel about that? I mean, I hope that you're not that scared. Ma'am, please adjust your chorus. You'll thank me, because your life will be just the few people who are coppers, the judges and prosecutors you go to barbecues with, and the rest of us. And once you become that evil demon, I'm going to hate you. You can be hated. As soon as I see you, I call you a pigtail.
Fired, shots fired.
You have no business being a cop. You're a woman. You belong doing other things. I would work for you. You could be my boss. But physically, you can't take me on. You're not qualified. And once a woman is on the scene and she goes, ah, then every man wants to become a chivalrous hero. And it ruins the entire thing. You should not be a cop. Women should not be cops.
Well, I appreciate your
Honesty? Yeah. Can you be honest then? Why you want to do it? Just tell me that and I'll let you go. Why would you want to do it? Why would you agree to do that to me?
Well, I'm not doing anything to you.
If you agree to be a copper, you're agreeing to put me in torture cuffs. Why would you agree to do that and follow that policy and say, well, there's going to be people who disagree with it. Torture cuffs are always torture. I challenge you, put them in your back for 20 minutes hard and see if afterwards you don't think that they're torture. Put them on hard. Like I just told you to F yourself and you're mad at me. And so you put the torture cuffs on tight and then sit down for 20 minutes. And after that 20 minutes, call me. Reach out to me. Talk to me. It's torture. It's not an opinion. It's a fact.
Mm-hmm. But from my point of view, as a 21-year-old female, growing up in a wonderful family, a loving family, I had a great childhood growing up, and not everyone has had that experience, right?
And now you want to torture people?
No, I don't. I want to make a difference, and here's what I mean by that. Let's say a scenario, right, where, like you said, if you and your girlfriend got in a fight, like an argument, not a fight, an argument, I'm not going to show up and say you're under arrest for having an argument with your girlfriend. If there's violence involved, that's where my job comes in, right? To help. And I'm not saying I'm not the cop, and I'm not a cop, so I can't say that. But I would never be the type of cop to just put someone in cuffs without trying to understand what's going on. Now, there are different people in the world. There are different cops in the world. People do things differently. But I'm not going to label every cop as being the same.
Oh, unfortunately, we have to. If you get a bag of M&Ms and 10 of them are poisonous, how many do you want? Unfortunately for us, the general public, the biggest fear that my crowd has, and there are literally millions of people who watch my videos 1 million times a day just on YouTube. Millions of people respond to me and they say that every time a cop gets behind them, they become afraid. And so you only say it's just a few bad apples, but if there's only 10 M&Ms out of 100 that are bad, how many are you going to eat? How many are you going to trust? 0. And just so you know, ma'am, this is you at 21 years old. You sound like a very bright light. I'm happy to talk to you, but that's not you at 25. Once you go OTJ, on the job training, and you have someone influence you, this is, oh, they're going to complain about the cuffs, but they're not supposed to be comfortable. No, you're not supposed to put torture cuffs on people. It's wrong. It's inherently wrong. What's the first rule? Do no harm. That's the first rule. But the cops break it every day. Just read the Mullen Commission and what cops actually do and what they say to one another. It's really bad, ma'am. It's really bad. And I stand by my opinion. Women should not be cops on the street. You're no match for me. We need to protect women and preserve their ideas and respect them and uphold them. But if it comes down to a physical fight, get out of the way and let me do it. God sent me on this mission. And now when he sent me on the mission in 2019, what happened to me is I realized someone has to change this system. In a new era of digital, we can now digitally detain 9 out of 10 people. Where you say, hey, Chille, you smacked your girlfriend. She's got a red cheek. You got to come with me. I'm pointing my camera at you. If you don't come, the judge is going to charge you with a felony. You got to come get in the car. You got to come with me. Remember, you can always reach me. And when you're put in that position where they say, hey, Kay, we need you to say this on your report, like they tell you in the Mullen Commission where you learn it, and you got that decision right there where now you realize that guy on the phone told you, it becomes a Death Star. And if you don't lie on the report, you're not towing the line. At that moment, you call me. Don't take the bad choice, just quit. And it'll happen within the first 2 years. Within 2 years, 80% of cops carry drop guns, drop drugs, drop knives, called a drop gun, a drop knife, a drop gun. Within 2 years, 4 out of 5 cops are carrying paraphernalia to plant on people. Because if they F up, they need to cover their own ass. Within 2 years. So we'll keep up with you, okay?
All right. You have a good rest of your night.
You take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the new, redesigned Fifth Amendment cop card. Now, the driver card is in blue, and the non-driver card is in yellow. Now, they're easily color-coded, so you know driving is blue, non-driving is yellow. You have to have a pair of Fifth Amendment cop cards in your wallet at all times. If you carry your credit cards in your phone, it's the exact same size as your Visa, as your driver's license. And these cards, they're made out of the exact same material as a hotel key, your Visa card, your driver's license. They don't destroy. It won't melt in your wallet. You need to have a Fifth Amendment driver and non-driver cop card in your wallet. These are the best gifts you'll ever give anybody. Thanks. My name is ChilleDeCastro, and I am Delete Laws.